Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to uh, Tuesday Trucker Talk. I'm Trucker Todd, I'm sure you figured out by now. And it's already a technical Tuesday. We're having all kinds of issues here. We're going to try to get through it. I know a lot of you are curious about what the big announcement is. We'll get to that. We've got some housekeeping things we need to take care of first. And of course, I'll circle back around, say hi to everybody. This has been, I didn't mean to do that either. Uh, we've got some stuff we need to talk about. You might have noticed my intro was different. The guy that made that intro for me told me that the music was not music that I had to pay for. Come to find out, I got copyright stricken. And so it's costing me several $100s a month now to use that other music. And so I'm changing the music, trying to get in compliance with YouTube, and we'll see how it goes. If the video portion's what's copyright stricken, then I may have to create a whole new intro to go in there. But we're working through that. Also, several of you were accidentally removed from the chat last time on Thursday. So for those of you that were kicked out for wrong reasons or accidentally, I've added you back in. You should be able to comment again. Also, I mentioned the other day these tuggers that go on your air horn or your purse or whatever you're into. I've still got a few of them left. If you happen to be one that emailed me and I did not respond to you or forward your email to the guy that makes them, please shoot me another email at todd@truckertodd.net. I like that one a lot. Also, if you like the style, but you maybe want a different color or something, shoot me an email still again at that todd@truckertodd.net. Let me get my ticker up there because it'll also have the website. You can contact me through the website, and I will forward it to him, and you and him can work it out. This one's kind of a neat color too. Of course, mine's not in here. My wife took one or two of them out as well for herself. Here's another one. Several of you have expressed interest in NFL colors. I'm sure we're going to get into the Cowboys game the other night, which is still kind of a sore subject for me. Here's one that's almost a baby blue. Pretty neat. And I just want to show the rest of these real quick that are still available. Maybe if we've got an Oakland Raiders fan in the house, you might like that one. That one's pretty nice. I kind of like that one myself. And like I said, he is doing custom ones too. So if you see something you like here, let me know and I'll get you two in contact. Don't put it in the comments. It's too much for me to keep up with. Just shoot me an email at todd@truckertodd.net. This one's real similar to the one my wife kept. She really liked, but it had tassels on the end with some beads. It was pretty neat. It looked a lot like a shorter version of the one that was made for me that you guys might have seen. It had Trucker Todd and beads on it and things like that. Really nice setup. And so let's see, what else did we need to talk about? Just a ton going on. I'm sure I'll remember it as we go through the show. But now let's get into what tonight's about. If you read the title, you might have seen that it says episode 37, 5 at 5. And let's think about the last few months on the show. We've had some people that have been accused and some people that have got pretty defensive about being accused of coming on here for self-promotion, promoting their YouTube channel, promoting, their whatever, and their trucking company they work for, things like that. We've had some people that come on and wanted to debate me on different subjects, and some of them were pretty knowledgeable and did a really good job of putting up their side of the story, and so that was kind of fun as well. We've had some people that said that in the comments it's hard to you know, get your point across, because it's just a comment. It only allows so many characters. And then I've got 5 or 10 minutes to respond to your comment. So I've kind of got an unfair advantage. I can slant things to my favor. And tonight we're going to flip the tables. Tonight you can come on the air for 5 minutes, and we can talk about whatever you want to. Now, since it is my show, I'd still like there to be some dialogue, us talk back and forth. Obviously, we're going to have some rules. One of those rules is you can't be driving while you're doing the video. Also, you need to be visible on screen. I don't want to look at the sleeper of your truck or the wall or, the floor, nothing like that. You got to be face on camera. Also, I would ask that you keep the language family friendly, and that we still remain keep respect and civility in place. And so that's what we're going to do tonight. And so here's your chance. You want to get on here and promote your YouTube channel, or tell me how great the company is you work for. Tonight, you're the guest on this show. And we can have a friendly dialogue back and forth, or we can talk about whatever you want to. I've got a trusty timer here, and I set it for, I don't know if you can see it, 5 minutes and 20 seconds. That way, it gives me 20 seconds to introduce you, things like that. I'm going to go ahead and put the link up. Make sure you're in good lighting. Again, you're parked, things like that. Because this is the monetized channel, I'm going to have my finger on the button, and if it looks like you're going to do anything crazy or say anything crazy, you'll be gone. And I hate to do that to anybody. So please, let's all be adults here. And also, one more thing I wanted to tell you about was we've got to talk about all the memberships. We've got 29 members now. And so we want to give a shout out to all those. I'll mention them all here in just a second. But there's the link in the comments if you want to be a part of the show. And while we're waiting for people to come in, I will also get to the comments and say hi to everybody. But let's run through these 29 names real quick, starting with the very first member and working our way up to the most recent. We've got Ramon, Robbie Ross, Corey Oatley, Skyhook Trucker, Midlife Trucker, Red Raider Reload, and Randy's Road Life. KC, a trucker named Tim, Smaller Hauler, Oaser DM, Roger Berry, RGB, Brian Walton, Mark Ely, 18-wheeler. Sorry, I'm already losing my voice. Jordan B, Tracy H, H-Man, Davenport Family, Josh Burton, Asphalt Jungle, who, by the way, gave me some of the best ribeyes I've had in a very long time. They were excellent. Really nice guy. I hadn't heard from him in a few weeks, so I sent him an email the other day, and he hadn't responded back yet, but he's been a member for 3 days now, so I'm glad he's okay. Shane Lee, Grafton, Daniel Lynn, PT Bullet Boy Gaming. Got another gamer in here. And a good friend of mine, Scorpion Trucker, Truckers Education, and Ohioan Trucker. I appreciate all of you being here and being members and supporters of the channel. As you guys know, when you do that, it puts a little icon by your name that changes over time as the longer you're a member. You also get exclusive content when I have time to make it. I got to get to work on that. I really do. And then you get a shout out in all the shows. And you're supposed to have special emojis. And I can't find another YouTuber that'll tell me how to do that. So I may have to shoot YouTube an email and ask them. Okay, we don't have anybody in the waiting room yet. So, this is your chance. If you think I hadn't been fair to you, or you think that in a video chat you might be able to change my mind on something, come in and give it your best shot for 5 minutes. Let's see what happens. Channel member Tim, a trucker named Tim, was the first one here today. Channel member Midlife was second. Looks like channel member Ramon was third. Channel member Roger Berry, I'm here driving but listening. Hope all is well with everyone. Leaving Grand Prairie, Texas, headed to Magnolia, Mississippi. Well, be careful going that way. It sounds like the weather might be kind of weird over in that area. I'm going to take off this hoodie. I was outside a minute ago and it was cold out there, but it's nice and toasty in the Trucker Todd truck. Man, say that 4 times real fast. Trucker Todd truck. Skyhook Trucker channel member says, hello. Hello, sir. And Don says, good evening to everyone. Channel member Brian Walton, good evening, bud. Hello, sir. Thank you for being here. And Red Raider Reloading channel member says, hello, all. And Gary Cook says he's here listening from home in Chicago. He's listening from his home office in Chicago, first time home in over 3 months. Yeah, I'm thinking it's the first time you've ever watched one of my lives from your home office too. So, man, I can't imagine staying out 3 months. I don't think I've ever done that. I think about 10 or 12 weeks is the longest I've ever stayed out, and it's been a long time since I did that. Picked up a load today. I'm on my way to Pueblo, Colorado, and deadhead and all, it's going to work out to about $4 a mile. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'll be delivering that load at 7:30 in the morning, and then I'll look for something else. Somebody was talking to me on the phone earlier today, and they said, I can't imagine, or I wouldn't go to Pueblo, Colorado right now, is what they said. And I tried to tell them at $4 a mile, even if I had to deadhead back to Texas, that's still better than a lot of guys are getting right now. There's a lot of guys pulling loads for $2 a mile, and most of mine are north of $2.70, around $3. And then this one was exceptional at 4. So maybe I'm just in the right place at the right time. A few people have called me lucky, but the problem with calling me lucky is I seem to get lucky over and over. We had some, while I'm waiting, we still don't have anybody waiting to come online. The post office lost my mail. I had something I'd had to mail Scott, and they lost it and then tried to return it to my home address, except they returned it to a home address I lived at 4 years ago. So I've spent part of the afternoon taking care of that, finding the package and getting it shipped back to Scott, but it's been an ordeal. It's frustrating that you can give somebody the address on paper and say, this is where I want to send it. This is the return address if there's a problem, and they can still screw it up. They can't even copy an address. And so, yeah, there's just a lot of incompetence going around right now. T. Stifler, what's up, y'all? Not much, sir. Glad you're here. I hope you saw the start of the show. Tonight's the night where if you want to come on and be on the show, you want to be a guest on the show, promote the company or wherever you're at, this is your golden opportunity. Let's see here. I'm making sure I didn't miss anybody. No Fear says, hey, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. Yeah, I think we're all collectively cold right now. I was sharing the other day with somebody on the phone. I was watching the Weather Channel, and it looked like the whole map was white. The only place that was safe to go was Texas and Oklahoma. So I've been doing loads between Lubbock and Fort Worth area, and back and forth. And man, the rates have gone. I was getting between $950 and $1,100 each way, and now they're offering like $600, $700. So I don't know what's caused everything to get almost cut in half. I don't believe rates have dropped 50%. I believe broker greed has increased 100%. And so it's a little frustrating, but that's what I did. I took this load to Pueblo, and I was wanting to get out and stretch my legs anyway. And so I'll run around the country for a little bit, and then I'll come back and do some Texas loads again when the brokers snap back into reality. T. Stifler says, man, it's cold. Yes, sir. Something we can all agree on. And let's see. Josh McLean says, good evening. Good evening, sir. Good evening, Trucker Todd and chat. That's from Blues Trucker. Hello, sir. He had, Blues Trucker had messaged me earlier today. He predicted I was going to have Scott on tonight. And that's a great idea. I don't know. Scott and I have never talked about it. I don't know if he's camera shy or how he feels about it, or I don't want to put him on the spot on here. But I can tell you, he and I have never had a conversation that I can remember of him coming on. It might be something we talk about at some point, and who knows, we may bring him on. What's funny to me is, the second I bring him on, everybody's like, oh, Todd's a recruiter. Todd's selling out and all of this. And when I don't bring him on, everybody's like, why don't you bring Scott on? What are you afraid of? So, at some point I may have a conversation with him and see if he wants to do that. I know he's out running right now, and he's in some pretty nasty weather, or has been. And I don't know that this is a great time for him, but that was never the plan for the night. The plan for tonight was just to open the floor up to you guys. It's really risky for me to do, but I wanted to give some of you a shot that feel like you've never got a fair shake. And I should warn everybody now, when you guys come on here and say, well, Todd, you don't hear my side, you don't understand, it's different in messages, I'm going to point to tonight and say, hey, I gave you a chance. Why didn't you come on? And so hopefully we'll get some from some new people soon. Hey, Russell Freight is here. He says, hey, Todd. Hello, sir. Robbie Ross, channel member, new music. Hello from Hinton, Oklahoma. Hello, sir. Yeah, the other music, I'm having to share royalties with I don't know, the video creator or the music creator. I'm working that out right now, but it's costing me several $100s a month right now. And so I'm quickly trying to fix that. If this music gets struck down, and I got this is free music from YouTube Studio, then I'll know it's the video, and I'll pull the video and I'll just make a new intro. I'm not giving away several $100s a month just to play a song. And the safe song that I know I can play is This Is Why I Do This, which is on my recorded videos. I've got an agreement with that band that I can use their music. I know the lead singer personally. I've met him several times. And so, yeah, that's we're going to get this fixed in the coming days and weeks, but expect everything to change in the coming weeks until I get everything straight. A trucker named Tim, channel member, says, go Lions. Yeah, my Cowboys were pathetic. And I'm just going to give you my initial thoughts because I've been reading a lot of crap online. So here's the deal. People are saying, fire Dak Prescott. Fire Dak. It's Dak's fault. He threw for over 400 yards, like 403 yards. He had over 500 yards of total offense. Now, he did throw 2 interceptions, and they were all him. They weren't like tipped or nothing like that. They were pick sixes, or one of them was a pick six. I think the other one they tackled the guy, but it wasn't his best game. But the whole team, I mean, CeeDee Lamb was like 2 out of 7 for his first 7 passes. He had a couple that went right through his hands. He had a couple that Dak overthrew him. I mean, the whole team just looked out of sync. And I think what happened is everybody said, oh, this is going to be easy. The 2 seed playing the 7 seed. They're just going to roll over them. This ain't even going to be a game. And so I don't think they came mentally prepared. And say what you want to, there's an argument to be made that they're pro and that they should know how to get themselves mentally ready. But to me, it starts at the top. And That's Jerry Jones and Mike McCarthy. Now, I like Mike McCarthy a lot. I really do. But 3 years in a row, they're in the playoffs and they're out pretty quick. He's not getting them prepared mentally for the playoffs, in my opinion. Now, I don't know that. I'm not in the locker room. But as it looks to me, um, they're too busy celebrating. Oh, we're going to roll over the first team and they get beat. Now, having said all that, I still think they should let him finish his contract. He's got one more year on his contract. Let's let him play one more year and see what happens. But to say let's get rid of Dak Prescott when he's got a really good shot of being the MVP of the NFL is just ridiculous. And we can debate it, but it's often said that there's unrealistic expectations for the Cowboys. And I heard a commentator say this. You know, if most teams in the NFL went 12-5 and made it to the playoffs, their team would be happy. If Mike McCarthy goes 12-5 and makes it to the playoffs, oh, we got to fire him. We got to get if we've got a quarterback that's up for MVP and he doesn't make it to the Super Bowl, oh, we got to get rid of him. He sucks. Uh, he threw 2 interceptions. He's got to go. Never mind that he's had the best season of his NFL career. He's been in the NFL 8 years. He's had his best season so far. And we're talking about getting rid of him. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Dak's going to get a new contract in the offseason. I think he's going to be one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL, if not the highest paid quarterback at the NFL. I don't know about Mike McCarthy. I think he may be gone, but I know several of the players have stood behind him. They want him to stay, and so we'll see what happens. But I saw Jerry Jones' interview after the game. He was clearly distraught. He was clearly upset. He said that he was 81 years old and that he would like to see that his time on earth was limited. He'd like to see the Cowboys in the Super Bowl one more time. Now, they hadn't been since the 90s, so I hope he doesn't have to wait, another 30 years to see it or whatever. But it is frustrating. It's still salt in the wound. I'm ticked about it, but I think we're pointing blame at the wrong people on the team. And we're to the point where I put up the link for if anybody would like to join me on the show. Hopefully some of you will take advantage of that here shortly. Let me get down here to where we are. I do have the tablet up tonight, so if the moderators have to kick somebody, I'll see it. David Edwards says hello or howdy y'all or howdy y'all. Howdy all. Being a Texan, it's hard not to say y'all. Mud Truckin', what's happening, Mr. Todd? Hello from Western Kentucky. Well, hello, Mr. Mud. Are you in some heavy snow? Are you snowed in? Or are you able to move? P.U. Patel says, good evening, Todd. Good evening, sir. Anthony says, come on over to Landstar. All right, Anthony, let's talk about that. If because several of you have wanted me to come to Landstar, click on that link. I'll go ahead and put it down here again. And let's have a video discussion about Landstar. Try to sell me on it. Tell me why I should leave the best job I've ever had and go to Landstar. Now, I'll tell you this too, and I was going to save it for if it came up in a debate, but I pull Landstar loads from time to time. I believe last month I pulled 2 of them, and or in the last 4 weeks for sure. And the difference is, had I had Landstar stickers on my doors, I would have pulled it for 65%. Being at SRO Logistics, I pulled it for 80%. So right out of the gate, I've got a 15% head start. Also, Landstar takes about a month to go through their hiring process. In fairness, SRO Logistics does too. But it'd be really difficult for me to see Landstar being a good deal right now. And also, SRO Logistics has been great to me. It, even if Landstar bumped their pay up to 80%, it'd be really tough to leave SRO Logistics just because of the experience I've got here. It's better to know the devil you know than the devil you don't know. And, I know Scott, I know his temperament, I know his hot buttons, things like that. I don't know who I'm going to be working with at Landstar. I may get some jerk that makes my life miserable, or I may get somebody really good. So, as long as there's a pathway forward working with Scott, I don't see me doing it. But if you're at Landstar and you're happy and you want to come on here and tell others about Landstar, I would love to have you on and talk about it. I did put their link in the comments for a second time. So far, nobody is stepping up to the mic. Remember, you got to be parked. I got to be able to see you on camera, and you got to have good audio and lighting. So, and please keep the comments clean. Let's try to stay respectful, and then let's go for it. Mud Truckin says, "Hello, Skyhook. I got your email about the horn honkers." Well, good deal. Channel member Ramon, man, this morning was cold, 10 degrees in Oxford, Alabama, and snowing a little. Yeah, night before last at the house, it was like, I want to say 7 degrees, and our water froze, and then um, maybe it was 10. Anyway, it was super cold there too, and we had frozen pipes one night, but everything's good now. Gary Cook says, "I'm single, so I can handle it." Well, there you go. Teach their own. I'd probably do it too if I was single. I'd probably just run all the time, drop by, see the kids and grandkids every once in a while, and hit the road again. Robert Armelino says the Cowboys showed who they truly are once again. I don't know. I still think they're a good team. I just don't think they prepared at all for that game. And it was obvious in the second half when they started scoring and they started doing stuff. The score was a lot closer than the game actually was. And so um, I just think that, and again, the coaches, how many of us played high school or junior high football? What's the coach do before the game? He comes in, he gives a motivational speech, and he tries to get you up for the game. Nobody looked up for the game. They was just like, we're going to win no matter what. All right, we've got our first guy that wants to come in and talk. It's Brian. I'm going to bring him in and start the clock, and we'll hear what he has to say. All right, and then we'll come back and get some more of your comments. Hey, Brian, welcome to the show. What's up, man?
Not too much. How's it going today, buddy? Too bad for the Cowboys. I know, everybody's saying, like you said, get rid of Dak and whatnot, but I don't think that's the answer. I personally think they need to fix that offensive line, and they still have work to take and fix that defensive line because without that offensive line holding them, Dak can't do nothing.
Yeah, I agree with that. The running game was awful. Tony Pollard had a terrible season. Also, the defense, like you said, they were like the number 2 or number 3 defense in the NFL, and they were awful. They couldn't stop the run, and everybody knew it.
Yep. Hey, also, I wanted to bring up a great company to come work for, and me and you had talked about this on the phone before. Rosedale Transport is a great company out here. I've been working for them for almost a year now, and I have no issues and no problems with them. I've worked for a few mega companies out there. I'd rather not mention, but if you're looking for the miles and you're looking for your home time, if you live locally to Georgia, they're willing to take and get you home every week. If you live anywhere else, they'll get you. They promise you to take and get you home at least every 2 weeks, if
Yeah,
that's your choice.
and I know he's telling the truth. He's told me this privately too because we talked, and he said he was going to go to Rosedale, And I said, man, let me know how it goes so that if anybody else asks about Rosedale, I'll know what to tell them. So I appreciate you letting us know about that. If any of y'all are interested in Rosedale, get in touch with Brian and let him tell you all about it.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. And if you've got a an email or something you want to put in the comments for people to
Oh,
reach you,
hey, Todd.
yeah.
The best way for people to really see exactly what Rosedale's about, because this guy's actually, he works for Rosedale. He's actually going around to all the DOT places and whatnot on these interstates and asking them questions that we would like to know, but yet, where I said some people are scared to go into. You need to look up Trucking Life with Sean. Trucking
Okay.
Life with Sean is a great website. He works here. He goes into places. He's on Mother Trucker. Mother Trucker actually started talking to him, and I know quite a few people know about Mother Trucker. And like I said, you want to know about it, he'll tell you everything about it.
Okay. And that was Trucking with Sean.
Trucking Life
Oh,
with
Trucking
Sean.
Life with Sean. Okay. So if anybody's interested in Rosedale, check out that YouTube channel. And Brian, you still got about 2.5 minutes. Is there anything else you want to cover?
Hey, I appreciate everything you do, brother. You're a blessing.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that too. Where are you at tonight?
Right now I'm in West Virginia, which West Virginia don't know how to plow their streets. I rode through here at 4 o'clock this morning, and these streets were nasty.
Oh
But
man, is it better now?
yeah, the roads are better now. I'm heading back to Chattanooga, Tennessee, to take and drop this load there. But like I said, they were good. And, yeah, whenever I passed on them about 4:30, 5 o'clock this afternoon. So everything
Yeah,
is good.
you may have some fun in Tennessee. They were showing it on the Weather Channel. Memphis and Nashville were just buried. I don't know about over where you're going, but it was bad in Memphis and Nashville.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine that was stuck in traffic all day due to 5 truck accidents.
Holy cow. That's another thing we probably already mentioned. Glad you brought it up. Everybody, make sure you've got some canned food and some water and some extra blankets and things like that in your truck in case you get snowed in somewhere, there's an accident on the highway, and you're stuck there for a long time.
But thank you, sir.
All right, man. We'll see you. Have a good night.
You too, bud. Bye bye now.
All right. That was a perfect call. That's exactly what we're looking for. He came in, he had several things he wanted to talk about, and he was interesting, articulate. So I'm glad we had Brian first because he was a good example of what I was hoping to find on here tonight. I'm going to post that link again in case anybody else wants to come in. But yeah, he really does love it over there at Rosedale. And so I hope you guys will check out that YouTube channel if you're interested in Rosedale. I've never seen that YouTube channel, so I'll just have to take his word for it that it's good. All right, let's see here. Back to the comments while we wait for somebody else to pop in. We have, let me see. Brian Walton, channel member, says it wasn't good for the Cowboys. No, I would say it was worse than that. It was a train wreck. I think anytime you enter an NFL game, you know it could go bad, but I don't think anybody expected it to go that bad. Red Raider Reloading, channel member, Cowboys, America's team. Like most Americans, they will be watching. Yes, sir. And man, I I go to my backup team now, which is Kansas City, because Patrick Mahomes played for Texas Tech in Lubbock, Texas. So now I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan. But yeah, this one was more disappointing than previous playoff bids that fell through. The you know the Packers were the first number 7 seed to ever win a playoff game, so this was something that had never happened before. And I mean, the fact that we can debate which department was the worst, was it defense, was it offense, was it special teams, means it was all bad. And everybody keeps talking about what Dan Quinn is going to do next season and how what a great defensive coordinator he is, but he didn't show me nothing in that playoff game. He he was it was not a good defensive performance. And it ain't that they didn't have the talent on the field, and we can't blame it on injuries or nothing like that. It was just not prepared. It was bad. I don't know any other way to say it. All right, let's see here. Trying to get caught up to where we were. Adam is listening from Kansas, been working in the shop for last month and will be until March. All righty, is that your preferred place to be, or would you rather be out in the fields or driving the truck? Blues Trucker wants to ask T. Stifler, were you able to find a starter company? Yeah, that's a great question. I had forgot all about that. Thanks for bringing that up, Blues. Let me adjust things on my end. We'll grab the next one. Brian Walton, channel member. If you're looking for a great company to work for, check out Rosedale Transportation. Let's see, out of Dalton, Georgia. They will get you the miles and get you home every week or every other week. I believe that's the Brian that was just in the video. So there you go. We've got another guy waiting to hop in. It's Robbie. Let's grab him and let me remove that comment and I'll start the clock again. All right, Robbie, you're up. How you doing, man?
I'm good, buddy. How are you? I'm gonna put
I'm
the
doing
camera
good.
right on that. Is that star showing nice?
Oh yeah, there you go. And you got one on your chest too. It looks like.
No, that's the dog shit. It's my dog shirt. It's not a star.
Okay, okay. I just seen the top point and thought it was a star. So are you a grieving Cowboy fan like I am?
No, I'm not grieving at all. We were talking during the game, so I'm. You know how I feel. I'm not gonna bash the team, but you know how I feel about Dak. I never said once though that we should get rid of him, but I just always say that he makes poor decisions. You know, and lately as we've been talking, I've been pointing him out to you right away when I noticed them. But McCarthy is the one that I think needs to be changed. Uh, you listen to a lot of commentators like I do. I don't know if Belichick's going to be the one to come in, but one guy they're not talking about, I'd love to have on the team would be Vrabel. One thing that I think you and I both can agree on, the team lacks a punch. Um, I think you know what I mean by that. Um, they, I'd like to be able to say it the way I want to say it, but I'm trying to be family correct here.
Thank
Um,
you.
like when early in the game when CD Lamb got pushed around, they need to show fight, and I think Vrabel would be the guy that would put that back in the team. And I think that's what's missing. It's been missing from the last two coaches, especially Garrett. Garrett didn't have that with the team where they had fight. McCarthy definitely doesn't show that with the team. And the other thing that we don't talk about, but even the point in case on Sunday, the penalties. McCarthy sucks when it comes to penalties. He always has the worst teams with penalties, and he always says every week, "We're going to clean it up. We're going to clean it up." Didn't
Uh,
happen. Didn't happen.
oh yeah, I don't remember the exact statistic, but they're one of the most penalized teams in the NFL.
You're absolutely right, and it's just you can't win games when you're backed up 75 to 100 yards a game or a big play that happens. It's no bueno.
I agree with you though. They didn't wake up till halftime. Now, I'm sure the halftime speech was a little bit motivating, but I got to keep it in perspective too. Even when they did wake up, they were playing against the Packers second and third string for a lot of the second half. The
Right.
Packers weren't going all out on them. So yeah, this is
Oh,
Robbie Ross for those that don't know. He's
did you see Jimmy's speech?
I didn't. You told me about it, and I got a deal on
I
YouTube today.
Oh, because I sent you the link in that text. That's why I was wondering if you had saw it.
No, I'll go check it out.
You definitely,
I
that was priceless that he did during halftime. That was priceless.
I wish Jerry would bring him back, but egos are never going to let that happen.
But the thing was is that when he did it, he showed pure emotion. You could even see it in his eyes, like he was the actual coach in the locker room doing it. And even afterwards, Michael was like, "Whoa, I'm ready to go, coach." It was so funny at the very end. But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
still on the Kool-Aid of the Cowboys, as you can tell. I've always been. I'm a season ticket holder. I was hoping I was going to be in Dallas for the divisional round and the NFC Championship, but I'll be out on the road.
Well, it'd probably be easy to get a seat there now.
Yeah, no doubt. You get to pick your seat.
Yeah, you could probably have any seat you want because you could be there for the divisional round, but they won't be there.
Yeah, the best
But
seats will be on the tour.
yeah, that's oh man, it's But what do you think about McCarthy? Are they going to bring him back, or is he done?
I think he needs to be replaced. Like I
I do.
said, Mike Vrabel. Vrabel would be my choice to bring in. I'm not for Belichick. He's a disciplinarian, but I don't think the team's going to lack that punch and fight that they need. Quinn's going to be gone. Who knows? I think Quinn might end up in Seattle. So
They were throwing Nick
everybody's gone.
Saban's name around too. Where did Nick Saban end up?
He's retired.
Ah, okay, because they were saying that he was a potential candidate for an NFL head coaching job.
Yeah, no, he retired. I mean, he could, I guess, but his first time around coaching the NFL was a complete disaster. So I don't see that
Yeah.
happening.
All right, we're at the 5-minute mark. I got to cut
All
you
right,
out.
buddy.
Thanks for coming in, man.
Appreciate
We'll
it.
see you.
Thanks, man.
Bye.
Take care.
All righty, that was my good friend Rob Rossi. I enjoyed talking to him. We hit our 5 minutes quick with him. Another great one. We've had 2 great calls in a row, so those are some examples of what we're looking for here. If you've got something you want to talk about, come on in. Let's take a look at it. Let's see if I can get caught up on the comments while we're waiting for the next one. Blues Trucker says, was watching some of the live shows and I missed, and I thought I heard you say you had family in Mount Pleasant, Tennessee. No, I have family in Mount Pleasant, Texas. Not in that city, but all around there. So, yeah, they're scattered there. I also have some down in a little town outside of Tyler, Texas, called Jacksonville. I do have some family in the Nashville, Tennessee area as well that I hadn't seen in a while, quite honestly. I need to run through Nashville and go say hi to all of them. T. Stifler says, yes, sir, I start orientation with Carter Express on the 23rd. That's great to hear. T. Stifler, stay in touch with us and let us know how it goes over there at Carter Express. That's where this channel really helps the most, is all the vast experience that's in the room here. If somebody comes in and says, hey, I'm thinking about Carter, we can say, well, Stifler knows about it. And you can tell us, we can say, Stifler said he likes it. He said he hates it. He said they have a good training program. They have a terrible training program. So you're a valuable resource, and we're glad you're here. But also, to cure our curiosity, please let us know how it goes over there. Red Raider Reloading channel member, need a new coach and quarterback. I would say maybe on the coach. I disagree on the quarterback. And maybe even a little bit with Rob Rossi. And I like him a lot, so I got to be careful what I say here. But as far as the quarterback goes, I mean, we're talking about an MVP candidate. We're talking about a guy that had, in 8 years in the NFL, this was by far his best season. We're talking about a guy that statistically surpasses Tony Romo and Troy Aikman. We're also talking about a guy, in fairness to Rob Rossi, that does make some bad decisions in critical times. This year, he was better than he was in previous seasons. We've just got to hope in the off season that he works on it some more. Look, he's going to end up being probably the highest paid or in the top 3 highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL. So there's going to be a certain level of expectation that comes with that. And so I've used this story before, and I doubt my uncle even remembers it. But they put an Infinity dealer, I believe it was Infinity, in Lubbock, Texas. And it's back when I was selling cars, and they had a $4,500 guarantee for salesmen. And when my uncle heard about it, he was like, "Hey, Todd, you already go sell cars there." And I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, because even if you have a bad month, you'll make $4,500. And then I explained to him how car sales works. And I said, "They call it a guarantee. It's actually a loan. And they'll loan you $4,500 one month, possibly 2 months if they like you. After that, you're gone." I said, "So think of it more as a bar you've got to get over than as a salary." I said, "I'd much rather have a $1,500 a month guarantee, so I know I'm going to hit it and my job's not in jeopardy." And so same thing with Dak. He gets that big number paycheck. They're going to expect big things. And so uh, also with the salary cap and the way everything works and the way the season ended, he may have lost a little bit of his negotiating power. They're talking like they're going to cross this bridge in March, and so we'll see what happens. But yeah, maybe the coach. I'm not sure about the quarterback. I still like Dak. I still think he had a great season, but nobody was motivated for that game. And I'm talking specifically CeeDee Lamb. I'm talking Dak Prescott. Now, Tony Pollard had some pretty hard runs. So did Rico Dowdle, or however you say his name, the other backup running back. They were running hard, but defense was just awful. Awful, awful, awful. And you can't expect 1 or 2 players to carry your whole defense. And it was just bad. Ramon, channel member. Todd, have a good night. Be safe. Start driving soon. All right, man. Be careful out there. I'm glad you're back on the road. Red Raider reloading. Won't waste another year on Dak. We have seen his potential. Good for a regular season, but chokes in the playoff. It's time to move on. Well, that's where we disagree a little bit. That's channel member Red Raider reloading. I don't know that we have seen his potential. As I've said, this was his best season by far. He started the season a little rocky with some interceptions, and everybody was on him. Oh, we got to fire him. We got to get rid of him. And then he started winning, and he started making good decisions. But maybe I'll agree with you at some point. Look, if they bring Belichick in, and Dak still can't win the big game or something, then maybe I'll agree with you. But I mean, it's hard to get rid of him when there's a good possibility he's going to be the MVP this year. You're going to fire the MVP. I mean, and even if he's not, the fact that he's in the top 3 statistically in the NFL, I don't know how we can say we're wasting a year on him. But I think sometimes as Cowboys fans, we have unrealistic expectations. There's 31 teams in the NFL, and I mean, we can't expect them to win every year. And I'll give it to you. It's been 30 years since they've been in the big game. I give it to you. But I think there's some stuff that needs to be addressed in the postseason. And the fact is, they weren't prepared for the game. They gave the first half away. They came back the second half. They were a lot better. But like Dak said, it's too little too late. And look, Dak Prescott agrees with me. He said in a press conference, "If you're going to fire Mike McCarthy, you should probably fire me too." He didn't shy away from the blame or the responsibility. Dak blames himself a lot more than I do. And some of that's just because he's a good guy and a professional. But, I mean, he threw for over 400 yards. How many quarterbacks do that every week? Over 500 yards of total offense. Yes, he had 2 horrible pick six. I think that One thing Dak is guilty of is when they get behind, he starts trying to force stuff. And I think that, when the Packers jumped out to that early lead, he tried to force a couple of things, tried to get the offense going, and it went badly. Um, I think patience would do him a lot of good, but none of us know what it's like to be a Cowboys fan. And I heard a commentator talk about this too. He said it's more theatrics than football for him. There's so much drama and behind the scenes stuff that goes into being a Dallas Cowboy. He said, why can't we just let the guys play football? And I think that's it. There was so much pressure and so much expectation. And we can debate if it's fair or not fair, or if any other team has equal pressure or whatever. But I just don't think the coaches got them up for the game. This speech that I keep hearing about from Jimmy Johnson, imagine if it's as good as everybody says it is. Imagine if Jimmy Johnson had been in the locker room giving that speech. It might not have made a difference. By then we were, I don't know, 27 points behind or something. But he would have probably gave that speech before the game, and it could have been a totally different game. Same thing with Belichick. If Belichick's in there, um, Mike McCarthy, great guy. I think everybody agrees on that. Haven't heard anybody talk bad about him as a person, but maybe he doesn't have the fire in his belly that team needs right now. I don't know. I would still let him finish out his season though, and see if maybe next year's better. But it sounds like Jimmy or Jerry Jones is running out of patience. Hello, Mr. R. Well, hello, Pablo. He meant Mr. Todd. I'm doing good, sir. How are you? Which teams are going to the Super Bowl? That is a great question. Houston won, which being a Texas resident, I'd like to see Houston do something. And I've already shared that I'm a Kansas City fan. And so I don't know. It's too soon to tell. I'm really not a big 49ers fan. Um, Green Bay showed a lot of potential. But just like we got shocked on Sunday, it's too soon to tell. There's a lot of good talent in the NFL. There's that link again. If you want to come in and talk, we've already had two. You might as well be next. Shane Lee, channel member. Hello, Mr. Todd. Travis Jones, Dak Prescott is not the future. Always fumbles the playoffs. Yeah, but if you watched the game, Dak Prescott was part of the problem, but he wasn't the only problem. The defense cost us the game. We can talk about the mistakes Dak made, but what about the defense allowing all those points? What about, and even if you add in Dak's 2 picks, give him 14 points. The defense allowed, 47 points or something crazy like that. The problem was the defense. Dak and them put up 34 points, I think it was. Wasn't it 32 or 34 to 47? It was, you would like to think in the NFL, if you score 32 points, you're going to win a football game. But you got to have the defense show up. And if you can't stop the run, and everybody knows you can't stop the run, then you can't stop nothing, because they're going to run 2 or 3 times, and then they're going to play action over your head. And it's a real simple game at that point. Channel member, a trucker named Tim, says probably going to be the Ravens versus the 49ers in the Super Bowl. Rates are different for actual BCO. Okay, even so, are they 15% more? The problem is, Anthony, and we're back to talking about Landstar. And if you want to come on screen and do it, we can cover a lot more ground a lot quicker. I've got a guy that lives about a quarter of a mile from me that's worked for Landstar for several years. He's had 2 trucks, not one, but 2 trucks repossessed this year. He's on his third truck while working at Landstar. So if it's if it's great at Landstar, and for some people it is, let's not lie, then why is he losing trucks and suffering like everybody else? Uh, Everybody seems to think that Landstar has this magic pill. Landstar's got the same formula everybody else does. They've got salesmen that go out and find loads, and they're still market driven for the rates. So, for example, they go to this shipper and they say, "Hey, I'm Joe Smith from Landstar. We'd like to pull your loads, and we'll do it for, uh, well, let's say another company. Let's say ABC Trucking. ABC Trucking goes to that shipper, says, "Hey, I'm Joe Smith from ABC Trucking. We'd like to pull your freight for $2.50 a mile." Landstar goes in there, says, "Hey, I'm Joe Smith from Landstar. We'd like to pull your freight for $4 a mile." And the guy goes, "Well, ABC Trucking said they'd do it for $2.50. "Well, yeah, but we're Landstar. You should pay us more just because we're Landstar." That's not how it works. That's not how it works. So now you get into specialized freight, maybe heavy haul, flatbed, maybe Landstar has some advantages there. But in dry van freight, there's so many fish in the pond that, I mean, it's just not, it's not the myth that everybody thinks it is. Now, was there a time when Landstar was superior? Absolutely. But the problem is we tend to think we still have the same villains and heroes in trucking that we've always had. And I ran into this when I was at Swift when they were really, really good. So Landstar is always going to be good in truckers' mind, and mega carriers are always going to be bad in truckers' minds. And the truth is that's not true. Landstar is going to have peaks and valleys. Mega carriers are going to have peaks and valleys. The spot market's going to have peaks and valleys. And so you've got to look at it realistically and realize that, Landstar is just another competitor in the field. And if you like it there and you're doing well there, then more power to you. But I'm doing pretty well over here. Um, how many guys right now are, doing $1,500-$1,600 a day in revenue pulling a dry van? And I don't do it on every load, but I do it fairly frequently. And so what I am finding though, and I don't know if this is true for you, Anthony, is a lot of the biggest defenders of Landstar have never worked there. I've debated guys about Landstar that don't work there, and it's a fair criticism. You could say that about me. I've never worked for Landstar, have never wanted to. I've never said when I grow up I want to be a Landstar driver. Blues Trucker to T. Stifler, glad to hear that you got a job. Good luck with it. Yes, sir. We're all wishing you the best. There's that link again if you want to join me on the show. And let's see here. I got to get caught up. I went way down and yeah. I'm not sure. Brian Walton's comment got deleted. He was giving the YouTuber that talked about that company he was talking about on when he came on screen. I had told him to put that on there. I tried to add it back, but it's not adding it back. So I'm just going to put it up on screen for y'all. Channel member Brian Walton. That's Trucking Life with Sean. So Trucking Life with Sean is the guy that can tell you about that company that he works for. Skyhook Trucker. Channel member, I should be stocked up by Monday and I'll start on yours immediately. Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you for doing that, Skyhook. Yeah, I got it. It was Trucking Life with Sean. T. Stifler, the Blues Trucker. Yeah, I hear a lot of good about Carter. Plus, I already went out with the trainer 2 times. Oh, good. Gary Cook says the Buffalo Bills played a good game. Adam says most definitely out in the field or the truck, but have been mastering the art of polishing. Hey, you might have a side hustle there. People coming through Kansas could have you polish their tanks. Get you a buffer and some shine, and I'm sure it's a couple of $100 a job, or at least 100. All my tanks are covered, so I wouldn't need the service. And channel member Brian Walton agrees with Robbie Ross. He says, get rid of McCarthy. And Brian Walton also says, he's channel member, Red Raider, I think get rid of the coach. Then if Dak doesn't go right, then tell him goodbye. Again, with Dak, when you're like number 2 or number 3 in the NFL, I don't know how much more right he can get. Not every quarterback can be number 1. To be number 2 or number 3 is pretty good in the NFL. And I think some of this hype is built up by other teams. There's a lot of other teams that would love it if the Cowboys got rid of Dak, because there's at least 62 quarterbacks in the NFL. There's the 31 starters, and then there's 31 backups at least, and most have a third too. So say you've got say 75 quarterbacks or so. To be in the top 3, you get rid of Dak, you're probably going to get one of the 72 and not number 1 or number 2. Channel member Brian Walton says, Gary, I see it being San Francisco and KC. Well, everybody seems to forget Kansas City had some rough games this season too, and they appear to be back on track, but you just never know. Biden wears diapers. My hot wife has peaks and valleys too. All right, Bryden. Oops. I wasn't supposed to read that one. I'm sorry. I'm going to get in trouble with my moderators. There's some stuff that gets put up that I think it's okay. I realize it's a joke, but some of the moderators don't like it. So I'm going to have some splaining to do later. Some splaining. But all right, we're at the hour mark. And if any of you want to get on screen, I'm going to put that link again. If not, I'm going to cut out of here and go to work. I got to be in Pueblo in the morning. But if y'all want to try this, we've had 2 great people come on so far. It's been a lot of fun. We may do it again sometime. But I realize some of you are driving and can't come on. Some of you are at home and don't want to come on. You're with the kids, with the wife, things like that. But if you want to, this is your golden opportunity. And so we'll give it a few more minutes and see if anybody wants to come on before we call it a night. I don't have any comments on the screen now, so you can see the website. It's truckertodd.net. I hadn't looked to see how many check marks we got, but please go back and give me a thumbs up. Share this video on your social media platforms, and make sure you're subscribed. You keep hearing me mention channel members. If you'd like to be a channel member, hit that join button right below the video, and it'll have information about doing that. 29 people have taken the plunge so far. Actually, 31 left us. And so we appreciate that. So also, if you go to the website, there's a lot of great information there. You can find out about getting this solar powered headset that I like so much. Somebody said on the last video that the audio was kind of here and there. And so if I have that problem again, please let me know. I think I figured out what it was. It was playing the audio through my headphones, but it was doing the mic recording through my laptop. He said when I would lean forward like this, that it would get louder. and when I'd lean back like this, it'd get quieter. I am working on getting an external microphone and getting all that big time stuff, but man, those microphones are several $100s, and so may wait a little bit on that, but it'll be this year for sure. But anyway, have you guys got anything else you want to talk about before we wrap this video up tonight? We got another one here. Channel member Robbie Ross with the $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. 24th pick in the draft. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's kind of depressing to me that we're still in the playoffs and we're already talking about the draft because they were out so quick. But yeah, they're going to be, I believe they've got the 24th pick in the draft. And want to say thank you to Robbie Ross. He's always a big supporter of the channel. I was glad to have him on video tonight. He's also the guy that sent me my Dak Prescott jersey, which I'm really proud of. And he's always been a big supporter of the channel and a good friend. So I'm thankful to him for those things. And so, all right, folks, since the comments seem to be winding down, I guess I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video and get back to work. I want to thank everybody for being here. We got one more comment. T. Curry just got here. Everything is good with the trucking company. Well, that's good to hear. Yeah, same here. Everything's going good. I'm as happy as a bug in a rug. Channel member Brian Walton says, be safe. Yeah, y'all be safe out there. Roads are terrible right now. Rates are terrible right now for most people. So y'all be careful out there, and we'll catch you on the next video. If you comment and I don't get to respond to it, shoot me an email or a text. Y'all have a great night. Bye-bye.